Have you ever fallen for a trick that seemed so simple, yet so deceiving? If so, you might have been a victim of a social engineering attack. Social engineering attacks are a form of cybercrime that manipulates individuals into revealing confidential information, often by exploiting their trust and curiosity. Instead of using technical hacking techniques, cybercriminals use psychological tricks to convince their victims to hand over sensitive data willingly. This can range from passwords and credit card information to corporate secrets and more. Why are these attacks so effective, you may wonder? The answer lies in their inherent nature. You see, these attacks target the most vulnerable part of any security system, the human element. We're all susceptible to manipulation, especially if we're not aware of it. And that's precisely what these attackers bank on, our lack of awareness and understanding. The threat posed by social engineering attacks is significant. Not only can they lead to financial losses, but they can also result in reputational damage, loss of sensitive data, and even legal repercussions. It's a silent, invisible weapon that cybercriminals often use to infiltrate even the most secure systems. Throughout this video, we'll be discussing various types of social engineering attacks. We'll start with phishing, one of the most common forms of social engineering. Then we'll move on to pretexting, where attackers create a false narrative to extract information. Next, we will talk about baiting attacks, which rely on human curiosity and greed. After that, we'll explore tailgating or piggybacking, where unauthorized individuals gain physical access to restricted areas. But it's not all doom and gloom. We'll also be discussing ways to quench the threat of these attacks, giving you the tools to protect yourself and your organization. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the world of social engineering attacks and how they can impact you. The bait is set, the trap is ready. Welcome to the world of phishing attacks. Phishing is a type of cyber attack where hackers impersonate a trusted entity to trick you into sharing sensitive information, such as usernames, passwords, and credit card numbers. It's like phishing, but instead of a worm on a hook, the bait could be an email that looks like it's from your bank or a website that's a carbon copy of your favorite online store. Let's take a look at a real-life example that made headlines in 2016. The Democratic National Committee's email system was compromised, leading to a leak of thousands of emails. It all started with a simple phishing email that looked like a security alert from Google, asking the recipients to change their passwords. The email seemed genuine, but it was a trap set by hackers who were then able to gain access to the DNC's email system. Phishing attacks can be highly sophisticated, tailored to target specific individuals or organizations, known as spear phishing. In such cases, the attackers take the time to research their victims, crafting personalized messages that are harder to spot. But it's not all doom and gloom. There are countermeasures that can be taken to prevent falling victim to these attacks. First, always be skeptical of unsolicited communications. If you receive an email, text, or phone call that asks for personal information, don't provide it. Second, check the source. If an email claims to be from your bank, but the email address doesn't match, it's likely a phishing attempt. Third, don't click on unverified links. Instead, type the web address directly into your browser. This can help you avoid landing on a cloned website designed to steal your information. Fourth, keep your devices and software up to date. Many phishing attacks exploit known vulnerabilities, so regular updates can help protect you. Lastly, use multi-factor authentication whenever possible. This adds an additional layer of security, making it harder for attackers to gain access to your accounts, even if they manage to steal your password. Remember, phishing attacks rely on deception. They play on our trust and our fears. But by staying vigilant and adopting good cyber hygiene practices, we can avoid falling victim to these attacks. Phishing attacks can be cunning, but with the right knowledge, we can avoid the bait. Imagine a scenario so convincing, you'd believe it's true. This is the art of pretexting. Pretexting, in essence, is a form of social engineering where an attacker creates a highly believable scenario or pretext to steal their victim's personal information. This deceptive method is often used to trick a person into revealing sensitive data or to influence them to take specific actions that could compromise their security. To help you understand pretexting better, Let's consider a real-life case study, the infamous Matt Honan iCloud hack. In 2012, a hacker used pretexting to manipulate customer service representatives at Apple and Amazon, leading to the complete wipe of Honan's MacBook, iPhone, and Gmail accounts. The attacker didn't start out knowing Honan's personal details. Instead, they created a convincing story, claiming to be Honan himself, locked out of his account. The hacker was persuasive enough to trick customer service into bypassing the usual security measures. The Honan case is a potent reminder of the power of pretexting. It also underscores the importance of training and awareness, especially for those in customer-facing roles. But it's not just companies that need to be vigilant. We, as individuals, must also be on guard. So how can we protect ourselves from pretexting attacks? Firstly, we need to be skeptical. If someone calls or emails you asking for sensitive information, even if they seem to have legitimate reasons, it's okay to question their motives. Never give out personal information unless you're sure of the person's identity and their need for that information. Secondly, it's essential to verify. If you receive an unexpected request, take a moment to verify it independently. For example, if you get a call from your bank asking for information, hang up and call the bank directly using a number you know is genuine. Thirdly, be aware of the information you share publicly. The less personal information you have available online, the less ammunition a pretexter has to work with. Lastly, use two-factor authentication. This adds an extra layer of security, making it harder for an attacker to gain access to your accounts, even if they have some of your information. Pretexting attacks can be highly convincing and are not always easy to spot. But by staying vigilant, questioning unexpected requests, and taking steps to secure your personal information, you can significantly reduce your risk of falling victim to these attacks. Remember, anyone can be a target of a pretexting attack. It's not about how tech-savvy you are, it's about how aware you are. The more you know about these tactics, the better equipped you'll be to spot them. Pretexting can be a powerful weapon, but awareness is our greatest defense. A free USB drive on the ground, would you pick it up? Welcome to the world of baiting attacks. Picture this. You're walking down the street and you see a USB drive lying on the ground. Curiosity piqued, you pick it up, take it home, and plug it into your computer to see what's on it. Unbeknownst to you, the moment you plug in the USB, a malware gets installed on your system, and just like that, you've fallen prey to a baiting attack. So what are baiting attacks? Baiting attacks are a subset of social engineering attacks, where attackers lure victims into a trap by using an item of interest as bait. This bait could be anything from a physical device, like the USB in our example, to a digital file or link that promises something enticing like free software or a leaked celebrity photo. Once the bait is taken, the attacker gains unauthorized access to the victim's system, often installing malware that can steal sensitive data, disrupt operations, or even take control of the entire system. Baiting attacks are cunning, exploiting our natural curiosity and desire for gain. Let's take a look at a real-life example, the Stuxnet worm. This piece of malware was allegedly used to sabotage Iran's nuclear program in the late 2000s. It was spread using USB drives dropped in places where they would be found by employees of the targeted facilities. Once plugged into a computer, the Stuxnet worm would infiltrate the system, causing significant damage to Iran's nuclear centrifuges. This goes to show just how devastating baiting attacks can be. So how do we guard against such attacks? The first step is awareness. Knowing what a baiting attack looks like and understanding the risks associated with unknown devices or too-good-to-be-true digital offers is crucial. Secondly, always ensure that your system's antivirus and anti-malware software are up to date. These programs can often detect and neutralize threats before they can do any damage. Thirdly, adopt a policy of distrust towards unknown or unverified digital files and physical devices. If you find a USB drive, resist the temptation to plug it into your system. If you receive an email with a link promising something for nothing, don't click on it. Remember, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Lastly, organizations should regularly conduct security awareness training for their employees. These sessions can help staff recognize and respond appropriately to potential baiting attacks, reducing the likelihood of successful breaches. Baiting attacks exploit our curiosity, but understanding this can help us resist the temptation. Ever held the door for a stranger? You might have just let in a threat. This is tailgating, also known as piggybacking. As we dive deeper into the world of social engineering attacks, we come across a technique that exploits our inherent trust and politeness. Tailgating, or piggybacking, is a physical security breach in which an unauthorized person gains access to a restricted area by following someone who is authorized to be there. Imagine this scenario. You're at your workplace, it's a busy day, and you're rushing to get things done. As you're entering the building through a secure door, you notice someone behind you. They seem to be in a hurry, just like you, and they're carrying a lot of stuff. So you hold the door open for them. It's a small act of kindness, right? Unfortunately, you've just become an unknowing accomplice to a tailgating attack. This might remind you of a real-life incident that occurred a few years back, the RSA Secure ID breach. An unauthorized individual tailgated an employee into the RSA's secure premises, gaining access to the company's internal network. The attacker then launched a sophisticated cyber attack, compromising the security of RSA's Secure ID authentication tokens. This breach caused significant financial damage and tarnished the company's reputation. So, how can we prevent such attacks? One of the most effective countermeasures is awareness and training. Employees should be educated about the risks of tailgating and the importance of challenging or reporting individuals who try to enter secure areas without proper authorization. Physical security measures can also be implemented to prevent tailgating. For instance, secure doors could be equipped with turnstiles or mantraps that only allow one person to pass at a time. Security cameras and alarms can also act as deterrents for potential tailgaters. However, it's important to remember that these physical countermeasures are most effective when paired with a culture of security awareness. Just as we've learned to cross-check emails for phishing attempts and to be cautious of suspicious online requests, we need to incorporate these security habits into our daily routines. So the next time you're entering a secure area, take a moment to look over your shoulder. If you see someone trying to tailgate, politely ask for their identification or escort them to the reception or security desk. It might feel a little awkward, but it's a small price to pay for keeping your workplace secure. Tailgating exploits our politeness, but being security conscious can help keep threats at bay. So let's keep our eyes open and continue to build a culture where security is everyone's responsibility. Knowledge is power, and in the fight against social engineering, it's our best weapon. In the realm of cybersecurity, we've walked through a gallery of threats, each one craftier than the last. From the deceptive allure of phishing attacks to the manipulative charm of pretexting, the treacherous temptation of baiting attacks, and the sneaky convenience of tailgating or piggybacking. Each of these threats, distinct in their approach, share a common goal: to exploit our trust and manipulate us into divulging sensitive information. But there is a silver lining to this formidable cloud. Each of these threats can be counteracted. The key to this defense, however, isn't just in complex passwords or advanced firewalls. It's in us, the users, and our understanding of these threats. Phishing attacks, for instance, reel us in with their cleverly disguised emails and websites. But a vigilant eye can spot the signs, the subtle inconsistencies in the URL, the urgency in the message, the unprofessional language. Equipped with this knowledge, we can navigate the sea of online communication without taking the bait. Pretexting, on the other hand, is a more sophisticated adversary. It spins a convincing story, with the attacker often pretending to be someone in a position of authority. But awareness is our shield here. By questioning the validity of unsolicited requests for personal information, we can deflect the threat. Baiting attacks lure us with the promise of something enticing, like free software. But as the old saying goes, there's no such thing as a free lunch. By being cautious of too good to be true offers, we can sidestep these traps. And then there's tailgating or piggybacking, where intruders exploit our natural inclination to be helpful. The countermeasure? A firm adherence to security protocols, no matter how inconvenient they may seem. In the labyrinth of cybersecurity, it's easy to feel lost and overwhelmed. But remember, education and awareness are a compass and map. With them, we can navigate through the twists and turns and emerge unscathed. In this era of ever-evolving technology, the threats are bound to multiply and mutate, but so too will our defenses. As we continue to learn and adapt, our resilience will only grow stronger. We are not helpless victims in this landscape of threats. We are the gatekeepers, the guardians of our digital world. Constant vigilance isn't just a phrase from a dystopian novel. It's a mantra for our digital lives. By staying alert and informed, we can thwart the devious plans of social engineers and secure our personal and professional lives. In the end, we're the first line of defense against social engineering attacks. Let's arm ourselves with knowledge and stand strong in the face of these threats. Because when it comes to our cybersecurity, we're not just the users, we're the guardians. We've journeyed through the deceptive world of social engineering attacks and emerged more informed and prepared. This exploration has shed light on the intricate web of deceit that cybercriminals weave to exploit our trust and manipulate our actions. From phishing attacks, where we saw how seemingly innocuous emails can be laced with malicious intent, to pretexting, where attackers spin convincing tales to gain unauthorized access to sensitive information. We then dived into the world of baiting attacks, a lure and deceive scheme that capitalizes on human curiosity and desire. And finally, we exposed the tactic of tailgating or piggybacking, where unauthorized persons gain entry into restricted areas by following closely behind a legitimate user. Each of these strategies showcases the cunning and creativity of cybercriminals. They exploit our vulnerabilities, our trust, and our inherent desire to help. But knowledge is power, and understanding these tactics is the first step in defending ourselves against them. In countering these threats, we discussed the importance of maintaining a healthy level of skepticism, especially when dealing with unsolicited communications. We emphasized the necessity of verifying identities before sharing sensitive information and the wisdom of not clicking on suspicious links or downloading unfamiliar files. And, most importantly, we stressed the importance of implementing robust security measures, including strong, unique passwords, two-factor authentication, and regular software updates. But remember, cybersecurity is not a one-time task, but a continuous process. It's about being aware, staying updated, and constantly adapting to new threats and strategies. The digital landscape is ever-changing, and so too are the tactics of those who wish to exploit it. The key to protection is prevention. Stay safe, stay informed, and stay vigilant. Knowledge is your best defense in the digital world, so continue to educate yourself and others about these threats. Remember, the key to protection is prevention. Stay safe, stay informed, and stay vigilant. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one.